Hello, my dear students! Здравствуйте, мои дорогие студенты! Меня зовут Veronika. My name is Veronika, and I am a professional Russian teacher. And yes, of course, I am a Russian native speaker. I am still, by the way, at my dacha. Я все еще на даче. And these are our apples from this year, our harvest. Это наши яблоки из нашего сада. Yeah, there was no apples for a long time here in my dacha. I don't know why, but this year everybody, me, my neighbors, my friends, have apples. That's very cool. And yeah, let's start our Russian lesson. Today I would like to talk about a very interesting and tricky and exceptional and of course irregular Russian verb жить. Жить, it means to live. So basic form, infinitive form that you can find in any dictionary is жить. Yeah, so how to understand if the verb is in infinitive basic form? You just need to look at the end of this Russian verb. If you see this combination of t and soft sign t, it means it is in infinitive form. So my plan for today's Russian lesson is, first, I will explain you the conjugation, how to conjugate this Russian verb. And then, of course, after each conjugation form, I will give you lots of meaningful examples in Russian language, and then we will talk first about present tense, then about past tense, and a little bit about important cognates in Russian language. So, you already know that жить means to live, and it is an infinitive form, right? So what is conjugation in general, in easy words? So in English, you do not have conjugation, but there is something similar, I would say. So you say, I live, you live, they live, we live, yeah? The verb itself doesn't change, yeah? But if you talk about the third person, like he or she, you add s, right? He lives, she lives. So this is kind of similar how the Russian verb is conjugated in Russian language, yeah? So you just add different endings to the verb, and it depends on personal pronoun that you use. So жить is infinitive basic form from the Russian dictionary, and if you want to say I live, you say я живу. Я живу. So you see that infinitive is without this v sound, without this v letter. Жить. Yeah, but this is tricky, irregular, exceptional Russian verb. So when you start to conjugate, in present tense, you need to add this v in the middle. So I live, я живу. And now let's make an example. Сейчас я живу в маленьком доме на даче. Сейчас я живу в маленьком доме на даче. Okay, now let's talk about you. Ты. Ты. Ты живешь. Ты живешь. It means you live. And the example is ты живешь в большом красивом городе. Ты живешь в большом красивом городе. You live in a big, beautiful city. Yeah? Okay, and now let's talk about он. Он, it means he. Он живет. Он живет. He lives. Он живет в жаркой стране, где много солнца. Он живет в жаркой стране, где много солнца. He lives in a hot country where there is a lot of sunny days or a lot of sun rays, yeah? Okay, now let's talk about она. Она, it means she. The same form that we used for he. Он живет, она живет. Он живет, he lives, она живет, she lives, yeah? Okay. Она живет в холодной стране, где часто идет снег. Она живет в холодной стране, где часто идет снег. She lives in a cold country where often snows. Yeah? Снег. Okay, now let's talk about plural form. And the first plural form what I would like to discuss is мы. It means we. Мы живем. Мы живем. We live. Мы живем вместе дружно и весело. Мы живем вместе дружно и весело. So I would translate, it's a little bit difficult to translate for me. I would say something like, we live together in a good way. So we have fun together and we are friendly to each other. Дружно. It comes from the word друг. Друг means friend and дружно means friendly. Yeah, it's an adverb. Okay. Now let's talk about you plural. So in English, for example, or in some, not in many, but in some other languages, you do not have different forms of you, like we have in Russian. So we have, in English, you just say you in any situation, but in Russian, there are two different ways how to use you. So if you talk to a person who you know quite well, maybe it is your friend, your family member, your colleague, if you are in good relationship, you say ты. But if you want to show your respect or you want to underline somebody's high social status, if you talk maybe with a doctor, with a teacher, with who else? With your boss, of course, or older people, you should say вы, even if it is one person. And also you use вы if you talk to a group of people, so many students, many people around you, and you talk to them, you use вы. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, so вы живете. Вы живете. It means you live. Вы живете в прекрасном районе. Вы живете в прекрасном районе. You live in a wonderful or lovely district or area. Actually, I don't know what's the big difference between district and area, yeah? Okay, and the last form is они. Они, it means they. Они живут. Они живут. Они живут недалеко от школы. Они живут недалеко от школы. They live not very far away from school, kinda close to school, yeah? Okay, and all these forms, they are only in present tense. Сейчас, right now. And now let's talk about past tense. This is very tricky, and many foreigners, even who are fluent in speaking Russian language, they constantly make this mistake. According to my teaching experience, I teach Russian to foreigners already almost 8 years, so I know typical mistakes that you Russian learners do, and I would like to help you. So yeah, in present tense we add v sound in the middle of the conjugated verb, right? But if you want to make past tense, you need to forget about this v. So many foreigners, they want to say like he lived, and they want to say он живил. This verb doesn't exist in Russian at all. Or they want to say он жевал. Жевал, it means to chew, like here. Он жевал. So it's absolutely different verb that we use in absolutely different situation and context, right? So yeah, if you want to make a past tense from the verb жить, you just forget about this t that indicates it is infinitive form, and you just add l. So in masculine form, you just say in past tense жил, жил. That's it. And here is the example. Я жил здесь много лет назад. Я жил здесь много лет назад. I lived right here long time ago, many years ago, yeah? This was masculine form. And if you want to make feminine form, that's very easy. You just add this classical, standard, typical feminine ending in Russian language that is basically a. Жила. Жила. It means she lived, or I lived, or you lived, if a person is a woman, yeah? So, я жила, what I would say, я жила в маленьком городе. Я жила в маленьком городе. I lived in a small city or town, yeah? And if you want to make plural form, you just add the e. This is typical also for Russian language, yeah? So if you want to say they lived, or we lived, or you, plural form or polite form, lived, you just use the form жили. Жили. For example, мальчики жили у озера. Мальчики жили у озера. Boys lived next to the lake. У озера. Okay, so we talked about past tense and present tense and infinitive form. We discussed a little bit some Russian pronouns, yeah? And now let's talk about cognates. That's very interesting because long time ago we had, for example, if you open some, how you say, Bible in Russian, so there you can find the old word for life. Now for life we say жизнь. Жизнь. It means life in Russian language, and of course it is a cognate to the word жить. Жить. But in old Russian times, yeah, many centuries ago, we used for the word life another word. We used to say живот. Живот. And this situation changed. That's very interesting. Now in modern Russian language, живот, it means belly. Belly, like part of the body. Yeah. So Oriental dance or belly dance in Russian is танец живота. Literally, it is dance of belly. Танец живота. But in Old Russian language, живот, it meant life. Now we say жизнь. Yeah, that's interesting how the word change their meanings. Words change their meanings. As a linguist, I am always admired by this process. So yeah, let me make an example. Жизнь, it is life, and you see here is the soft sign in the end of this Russian word, and you already know where the soft sign is. There is always a doubt or possible mistake, yeah, some suspicious situation, yeah. So yeah, жизнь is feminine word in Russian. Жизнь, она. Yeah, okay. Я довольна своей жизнью. Я довольна своей жизнью. It means I'm happy with my life, or I am satisfied with my life, what I have in my life, yeah? Okay, and by the way, let's talk a little about Russian cases system. After this word довольна, you need to use instrumental case, the case number 5. In Russian we say творительный падеж. Okay, now let's talk about another cognate. Животное. Животное, it means animal. This word behaves like a noun, but actually it is a substantive because it looks like an adjective, but it behaves like a noun. So this part in Russian language, in linguistics, we call substantive. So животное, it means animal, and of course they are alive, they are animate, at least in Russian language and not in English, I know. So yeah, and here is the root жи, yeah, the old root. Yeah, because animals, they live. Животное. And here is the example. This is very predictable, I would say, because you know I have a cat. So, моё любимое животное – это кошка. Моё любимое животное – это кошка. My favorite animal is, of course, a cat. And let's talk about cognates, about Russian verbs with some prefixes. So if you want to say to survive, yeah, you remember that famous song, I will survive. So this is the verb выживать. This is imperfective form. And perfective form is выжить. Выживать, imperfective, выжить, perfective. What's the difference? We use imperfective form when, we use imperfective verb aspect if we talk about actions that took place on a regular basis. If they happen every day, every time, often, rarely, sometimes, usually, always, or even never, you have to use imperfective verb aspect. So, for example, я не знаю, как люди выживают в пустыне без воды. Я не знаю, как люди выживают в пустыне без воды. So the translation from Russian into English is I do not know how the people survive in a desert without water, yeah? So this is kind of the process that takes a long time, yeah? And this is a process, yeah? So we use imperfective because it happens on a regular basis. Quite often it happens that people stay without water in a desert And every time when it happens, kinda I do not know how they survive, yeah? So it happens more than one times. Than one time. That's why we use imperfective verb aspect, and let's talk about perfective form. This is more used. So the infinitive form is выжить. Выжить, to survive. And let's say девочка выжила несмотря на страшный голод. Девочка выжила, несмотря на страшный голод. A girl survived, nevertheless it was, or despite it was a very big famine that year. Yeah? Okay, so not very positive verb, but this is what we use quite often, so you should know this Russian cognate of the Russian verb ЖИТьь. So I hope that my Russian lessons help you to learn Russian, to understand our Russian logics and mentality. So if you have any questions or something is not clear in my explanation, just feel free to type me a comment with any question related to Russia, Russian linguistics, Russian culture, whatever. And yeah, I always read your lovely comments and I always answer you. And if you would like to support my channel, if you think that my lessons are interesting and helpful for you, just feel free to support me personally or to support my channel. You will find the links for the donations in the first comment below this video. And I'm sorry, sometimes my lips doesn't work very well because I just extracted a week ago my wisdom tooth and still it is a little painful, not even a little, a lot of pain here. But my dentist, she said I must smile, I must talk a lot, otherwise my muscles will feel even bad, even worse. So yeah, I would like to continue making the videos for you. Спасибо за просмотр. Thank you for watching. Увидимся скоро. See you soon. Пока-пока. Bye-bye.